Auntie Victoria. Somebody used to call you
Probably
Auntie Victoria. Gabriel?
Yeah. First nephew.
So first nephew is Gabriel, and then
Second nephew is
Easy,
yes.
then Elikam,
Yes, your child.
and then
Eden.
and Zion and Islam. Who came first?
S&M came first.
Islam and then Zion.
It's like I gave birth to them personally.
Okay, I'm taking my mind back to certain like scenarios. There's one time I took you to Stop and Shop.
Yeah, I did not want that bread. I didn't want
Then
the
you
bread.
said you're gonna call Ashley to ask her if you can get the bread.
Because that's the way we were raised.
Okay.
You know, your mom gives you that one look and says, no, do not collect things from strangers.
I wasn't a stranger at the time.
Potato.
Yeah. Anyway, what's up?
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Life.
How is ministry? I know you've been meeting some women.
Me and a lot of women.
Why not men?
That is not who I was called to.
All right, so tell me about it. What have you guys been up to?
Yeah, so the garden.
It's called what?
Women of the Garden.
Guardian.
Women of the Garden.
Garden.
Yeah.
Garden. Oh,
a
okay.
garden.
Okay.
And we are a women's
plant
ministry.
Flowers?
No, but we stand in a garden of our life.
Okay.
You know, the Lord is our master gardener.
See.
And so we stand in the garden together as the Lord tills and removes things and plants things in our lives. And it's a hard journey to do by yourself. So you invite women into your garden to walk that path with you.
That's cool. I think doing something like that takes you out of your comfort zone for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of gives you the opportunity to observe certain life's challenges through the eyes of others. Mm. And that's always a good thing. Having perspective from another person's point of view, I think is valuable.
Yeah.
And that is why you're here today on the podcast.
Yeah.
This is Voices We Keep, stories worth preserving. This is just going to be a conversation. Okay. I don't have any questions for you. We're just going to talk. There are stories in our lives. These stories, I believe, are valuable. When I say valuable, I mean they carry worth, substance. That when captured is something that will impact lives, generations after generations can benefit from these stories. I always give this example and I'll give it again, because somebody may be watching this for the first time. When a story is captured, value is captured. For instance, if the story of Jesus Christ was not captured, was not written, was not documented, how are we going to ever benefit from it? Yeah. And not only Jesus, the list goes on, right? The list goes on. If that story is not captured, documented, written, there's no way we can benefit from it. And what I've come to understand is that our individual lives is nothing but stories. And if we can document those stories or capture those stories, we can transmit value. Yeah. You know, so I'm glad that you came up with you got committed to doing something like that. And it's now your story. Mm-hmm. You know, everything we choose to do in life comes with its challenges. Yeah. Not only that, it comes with opportunity costs. So if I choose to go play golf today, I'm choosing not to do something else. That is the opportunity cost. There is something else I could be doing, but I choose to do this. So what made you commit to, instead of the other things you can be doing, do the garden? You see what I'm driving at? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. So I think the season I was in before the garden, one of the things that I held on to was that there is healing in storytelling. And I think that the garden provided a way to tell my story that would heal me along the way. Okay. And then it created a space for other women to feel comfortable in telling their own stories as well. Because oftentimes it just takes one person to be confident to share something, and then the floodgates open of people willing to share their stories. Or you'd be surprised how similar people's stories are. And so the season I was in, I was just coming out of a very abusive engagement. I'd moved to a state where
Yes, I had family, but I didn't have community. And it was a very lonely place to be in.
Yeah.
And then I was in this walk with God where, you know, it got really lonely to just be reading your Bible alone in your
Yeah.
room by yourself. And I'm like, am I the only one doing this? Come
know,
to
right?
find out there are other
That's it.
women reading their Bibles alone in their room,
Yeah.
really craving community. So
That is beautiful. See, what you just told me is that while you were working on yourself, you wanted to also help others work on themselves. That is beautiful. It's beautiful in the sense that even in that moment, you acknowledge that you can still be of help. You get what I mean? Even in the moment where you were helping yourself, you felt that while helping yourself, I can also be helping others.
yeah.
And it's a powerful story. It's a strong story in the sense that it teaches value.
Mm.
Okay, you started by listing all your nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
We talked on this
All
podcast,
5.
right? Yeah, I can see that already you are creating value, not only for the women you deal with, but for your nieces and nephews. The theme of this podcast is Voices We Keep, Stories Worth Preserving. Worth preserving in the sense that this story can change somebody's life.
Mhm.
This story can lift somebody up and put them on a different pedestal,
Mhm.
right? So allow me to go sort of wild with your story because it's worth preserving. You have nephews, you have nieces, 15 years down the line. If they should hear you tell this story, who knows what time in life they may be when they hear your story.
Yeah.
And to see how you turn it around as means of bringing other women up as you bring yourself up. What do you think that could do to them?
So before we started recording, I was joking around saying the Bible says, but the Bible really does say, the Lord really does say, my people perish for the lack of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do believe that, like, if we can look back. So for instance, even just what you said about the story of Jesus being captured, and
It's my favorite example.
like, we have that guideline to look back to what they did. When Israel was going across the sea, they didn't have the Old Testament or the New Testament. They didn't know
They
that
were
the Lord
living
would
it.
actually going to open the Red Sea. So
Yeah.
like they really just had to like hope that this would work out.
Yeah.
But we're so blessed to have a story. My nieces and nephews, you know, if they ever wanted a roadmap of like someone going through some level of hardship and finding a way to pull them out, they have myself, they have the other aunts, they have their parents. People who don't have that, you know, what do they look back to?
Exactly.
There's knowledge in that.
Yeah.
If any woman ever said, I was in an abusive relationship, or I am in an abusive relationship and I'm breaking something, is it possible for me to get out of this? 15 years from now, if you look at the story of your auntie Victoria, you can say like, if she did it, I can do it.
See, and that is it. Okay, every person alive today, you are alive because some people overcame certain challenges.
Exactly. That's good.
The standard.
Yeah.
No questions about that. What challenges did they overcome?
What if we don't know?
If you don't know, my God, if you don't know, you don't know that you don't know yourself.
Yeah.
There's this very cool saying, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
The sad thing is, if you don't know, you really don't know yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And what are the consequences of not knowing yourself? You see what I mean? It's some people go through life, their whole life. After saying this, I'm going to tell you a story. Some people go through their whole life not knowing themselves, but more sadly, not knowing they don't know themselves.
100%.
You see what I mean? Now, it is almost an unsolvable equation because you don't know what you don't know. All right. Let me tell you a story. When I first came to America, I worked in Maryland, but I lived in West Virginia. I lived very close. It was on the boundary of Maryland and West Virginia, but I lived in West Virginia. The street I lived on, the street that went in front of my house, is called Dirty Foot Road. I know. Dirty Foot Road. Now, why am I saying this? This is a story.
Yeah.
What I just told you is a story. My great-grandson can go to Dirty Foot Road
I know that.
and know that my grandfather lived here
Yeah.
sometime in the
Yeah.
past. Okay, let me continue that trajectory. There was a house across the street, and there was this lady who lived there, right? She noticed that this boy just came from Africa, living here by himself. I mean, I had some colleagues that would live in the house, company house together. So once in a while, she would call us like, hey, do you guys want to come over? I want to make some soup, you know. Very nice lady. We would talk. Sometimes they would invite me. We would talk. And she said something one day. This was back in 2008. This woman at the time was like 75, 76 years old. And she would ask me questions about Ghana, like where you come from. And then one day she made a comment, she made a statement. I would have died without knowing any of this.
Oh, wow.
That's what she said.
Wow.
That's what she said. You know, I told her how in Ghana, I told her some of our traditions, some of the things we do. Out of the blue, before I left that evening, she's like, I would have died without knowing any of this. And that statement hit me, you know. Every time I remember my time in West Virginia, that scene comes up in my head.
Yeah.
She said, I would have died without knowing any of this. The value of our stories transcend us. So I'm happy for your nieces and nephews, children, grandchildren, because you have taken a step to tell your story in a way that helps somebody else down the line. All right? Now, if the engineers we value in our society today, if the architects who do all the amazing things we do didn't tell their stories, and let me be very plain with you, they told their stories in textbooks.
Yeah.
They did experiments.
Yeah.
They recorded it. Those are all stories. And because they wrote those experiments down, we advanced on it.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
We took it to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. That is why society looks advanced today, because people documented their stories. You get what I mean? All right. Let's switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
Time doesn't wait for anyone.
I know.
Sadly, about 2 or 3 years ago, you and I lost a family member.
Yeah.
And every time it comes to my mind, I ask myself, what is going to be remembered?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
What is going to be remembered about her? And it's a quiet thought that goes through my mind. It's a quiet thought. She didn't get to tell her story.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I mean? She didn't get to tell her story. And that is a loss. Was it last year or the year before? Yeah, it was last year. I got very sick. I was admitted to the hospital for about 2 weeks. And the funny thing was, they didn't know what was wrong with me. They didn't know what to do because they couldn't tell what was wrong with me. It looked like my kidneys were failing, but they can't pinpoint why that was happening.
Yeah.
I was on IV fluids for 2 weeks straight. And when this arm got tired, they switched to this arm. When this arm got tired, they switched to this arm. 2 weeks straight, because they were scared if they took off the IV fluids, my kidneys would shut down.
Yeah.
And here's the case, they didn't know exactly what was causing what they were seeing in my samples. Now, while I was in that hospital, so many thoughts were coming to me. What if things take a dive? I have so many things in my head, so many ideas, so many things I want to do with my life. What if things take a dive? And that happens for people, sadly. And then that's it. The story ends. Now the story ends, but they take the stories with them.
Yeah.
That is what I'm trying to bring an awareness to. That things happen in life that we don't have any control over. Proactively, we can prevent the uncontrollable events in our lives. We can prevent them from robbing us from telling our story. In this day and age, we have media, social media, Instagram, TikTok, what have you. We have all of that. How do you think we can tell our story using this platforms?
Yes, we can.
How?
But there was a point before I even answer that question, I think that there was a point where I remember TikTok was going to go away and people were like losing their minds. They were distraught because they were like, none of this will be preserved. It's gone.
Yeah.
It might be somewhere in the cloud, but most of us don't know how to access that. So I don't even know how. When we were younger, our mom gave us each an album to put pictures in. And I think most of my siblings don't even have that album.
Yeah.
I still have mine because pictures also tell a story.
Yes.
Someone wants to be able to see that and say, this was my aunt Ashley, that was my mom's sister. And a lot of people, I had a friend saying they didn't have any pictures of their childhood.
Ooh, I want to tell you something.
I don't know how media could solve that, but I love sharing people, when people come over, like, look at this album, look at me and my siblings, like, even my sister who passed away, like, I have pictures of her as a 20-year-old woman. And people saying, I don't have this. I don't have pictures of my childhood. I don't even know what that time was. And even if I forget for a bit, I don't even have it on social media. Facebook might show me some memories of college, but like I can open this album and like it can bring me right back to New Jersey at a time where I had all my siblings in one house.
So check this out. Recently, take a look at that wall. You see those two pictures?
Yeah.
That is my son and my daughter. Recently, I think it was last week or 2 weeks, I was sitting on that chair over there in the kitchen, and my daughter comes to me. She's like, Daddy, thank you so much for taking that picture, because I can see myself, I can see how I looked when I was a baby.
Imagine not knowing how you looked as a baby because you don't have any pictures.
Victoria, so let me say that again let me paint a picture of that moment, okay? The whole of last week and this week, I've been working on TheLineageApp. I've been doing some bug fixes here and there, building the platform and all that. A lot of time, okay? So I was tired. And my brain was tired, okay? And I was physically feeling it, that I'm tired. And then my daughter comes to tell me this. Thank you for taking that picture on the wall, because I can see how I looked when I was a baby. She's 5 now, but in that picture, she was crawling. If I tell you the energy wash, like the infusion of energy, because she painted the picture to me, what you're doing is valuable.
Very impactful.
You see what I mean?
It matters.
So let me segue into the platform, because this is a good point to talk about the platform. You asked the question, is that an app that can preserve this? Or is that any way we can preserve this?
Yeah.
And if you want to preserve something, the goal is to preserve it forever. Because if forever is not the plan, then it's not preservation.
Yeah.
Why try? Let me, my brain is going all directions. See, we all know about the pyramids, right?
Yeah.
The pyramids in Egypt.
Yeah.
People say there were tombs. Some people say there were energy portals. Hey, whatever. Amen to all of that. What matters to me is some people took the time to build something so magnificent with an explicit intention that this thing have to be here forever.
Yeah.
What made them do that? And if you ask me, the only reason they did that was because they wanted to be remembered.
Yeah.
If you ask me, this is my opinion, that the paramount reason why they did that was because they wanted to be remembered.
Yeah.
Because what other reason can be that strengthening to go through the challenges to build such a magnificent structure? We went to Rome last year with the family, right? Yeah. We went to the Colosseum. And we were there. I was, my God.
Blows your mind. How is this standing after all these years?
My head, I was just looking at this thing. And that question kept coming to my mind. Why?
Yeah.
Why build something like this? It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you can see that they chose the most difficult way to build a structure, to build that. What I'm trying to say is that they could have built that thing in a more simpler way. Honestly, if you are in there, you can see that they could have built this thing, but they chose the most difficult way to do something, to do it, only to prove a point.
Yeah.
And the point I think they were trying to prove is, remember us. We don't want to be forgotten. You talked about the albums you have. When your mom was taking those pictures, what was she thinking? You see, we take pictures of things, whether we know it or not, because we're like, oh, I have to keep this moment. I have to hold on to this moment.
Yeah, you want to preserve it.
You want to preserve it.
Yeah.
You see value in it, so you want to capture it. But if you cannot share that, especially with those who matter in your life,
Exactly. And an album has its limitations.
it has its limitations.
Unless you're in my home, you're not
going to see it.
I can't share it with you.
Exactly. And a typical example, if I didn't go to Rome,
yeah, you would have died not knowing.
I would have died not knowing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see pictures online, but
yeah.
going there is a different thing.
Yeah.
So they built it to last so that generations can come and see it and experience it and remember them. I don't think most of us live our life
in that way.
And that is the sad thing.
Everything is fleeting.
Everything is fleeting. We don't think of what we can leave.
We want to take it all with us.
We don't take it. And who can? Who can?
No.
None of us can.
Yeah.
But there's one thing we can leave that will do all the work for us. Our stories. Now, you talked about the pictures. I want to come back to the pictures and the album you have. If your grandchild can have access to that album and the stories behind the pictures, imagine what value that brings. Today, like you said, we have social media, but it's fleeting.
And we're not even using it for that purpose.
We're not using it for that purpose. We are using it for the moment.
Yeah.
And then that's it. But in my mind, there's a better way to do this. And that is why I'm working on the Lineage app. The Lineage app helps you tell your stories. First thing we do on the Lineage app is we connect family members, because in this day and age, family is scattered. Family is everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. Look, it was just a few years ago, we were all in Connecticut. All of us.
Yeah.
But now, we are scattered. A few years ago, I was in Ghana with my siblings.
Yeah.
Today, we are all scattered.
Yeah.
And it's just the way of life. But if with technology, we can stay connected, and out of that connection, preserve our stories, not only preserve them, make it available to future generations of our family. That is the Lineage app.
Yeah.
That is what we are working on. That's what we're building.
I love that.
You know, in the sense that it's the one, and it's not a place where you get followers.
Yeah.
There's nobody following you here. There's no, I mean, the way we are building the platform, somebody can like your pictures, but if you think about it, the person who will like your picture is not yet born.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So the incentive is not to post a picture that will be liked.
It's to preserve it.
It's to preserve it.
In time. Yeah.
A moment in time. It's to tell your story.
Yeah.
Your great-grandson will like it, will love it, will be happy you preserved it. But it's more than aiming for a like. You know how today social media aims for a like, aims for comments. We're building something different.
Yeah.
Something that outlives us and tells our story down the line. We can capture our stories in pictures, videos, voice notes.
Yeah.
You know? So
imagine knowing what your grandmother sounds like, or your great-grandfather. I don't even know anyone on my father's side. So I wouldn't know what story comes from that side of my life.
So imagine if that was available in the form we are describing.
Yeah.
You know, recently I was talking to my friend on the podcast, Cyril, and I was telling him how I saw a picture, my sister sent a picture of my dad in a suit, and I couldn't get over it because in my personal life,
never seen Daddy.
In my interactions with him, I never saw him in a suit. Barbara was laughing when I told her this.
That's so crazy.
I never seen him in a suit. So what I'm saying is, this is what we're building.
Yeah.
Okay, and we call it the Lineage app. I think it's time we lived our lives knowing that our stories is what we can truly leave behind.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think anyone knows that.
People know it.
I don't know that they know the impact. Even in this app, there is a story to tell.
Yes.
About why our stories are so important.
Yes. Yes. And when I say our stories, I don't want people to have the image of, oh, you sit down and you are talking. Okay, my name is Victoria.
Right.
No.
Or that it even needs to be this massive,
No.
who are you?
Moments.
Where did you come?
Moments. Exactly.
What did my father's father like?
You see, so recently, right? So, because me and my childhood friends, we are building the app, we are using it and we
Yeah.
are making it better. So on Christmas Day, we went to San Antonio, and so on the app, you get a daily prompt.
Yeah.
It's a question. You can choose to answer it, you can choose to skip it, you can choose to change the question. It's up to you. On Christmas Day, my daily prompt on the app was, what was your father's profession?
Look at that.
And I can choose to say it in my voice or type it out.
Yeah.
Now, I was in an area where it was very noisy, so I decided to write it out. I ended up writing something like, my dad worked as a contractor with some oil refinery in Ghana, blah, 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 this and that and that and that and that. And that was it. But guess what I just did? I just told my great-grandson what his great-great-great-grandfather did for work. That.
Yeah.
That. Yesterday, my prompt was, what were you like in elementary school? That was the question.
Yeah.
And let me answer that question to you. I'm very friendly.
Yeah.
When I was in elementary school, I had no idea you go to school to go learn anything. So in elementary school, I just wanted to play, jump around. And so I had a hard time giving my attention to teachers. I'm like, guy, we're here to chill. Yeah, let's just go for it. But I wrote that down. Yeah. So when I say telling your story, it is this moments.
Yeah.
And on the app, these little prompts, they're helping you tell your story in bits. And then your pictures, your videos.
And I love the aspect of also just connecting with family members.
Yeah.
I have an older sister that I've never met on my father's side.
Exactly.
I have no idea what she looks like.
You see?
And for my children to be able to connect that, they may have an aunt and they may have cousins. And I think that is so important.
It is more than important. More than important. Let me tell you something. I like to talk, so this is not new to you. This is not new to you at all. What you just said, that you have an older sister that you don't even know what she looks like, where she is right now, what she looks like. It breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be like that.
I think that's strange.
That is very strange. It shouldn't be like that. Now check this out. What if when you were growing up, there was a tangible means of staying in touch if you wanted to, okay? Because I know not everybody, what we're saying, I don't want to be naive to think that everybody finds this as a good idea. We are all human. People have other priorities. I get that. This is my priority.
Yeah.
What if there was a tangible way for you to stay connected and you chose to connect?
Yeah.
Even though you live in different places, you could, while you're growing up, be seeing pictures of her and she's seeing pictures of you. So that if today you're like, you know what? I've never met this sister of mine in person.
It wouldn't really be a stranger.
How about, buy a ticket and just go see her? Because of all those memory trail behind, you have something to now build a real relationship on.
Yeah.
Instead of starting afresh, which can be daunting. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
If there was this platform while you were growing up.
Yeah.
Okay. On the platform, you connect with families.
Yeah.
Your family members.
Yeah.
It's not about strangers. It's a place for just you and your family members. This older sister of yours, if she was posting her pictures there, her voice notes, her commentaries there, that is a way of you, that is a way into her life for you. And then today, if you wanted to hang out, be like, hey, because you can text with each other, I think it's time for us to meet up. There is a lot.
Yeah.
You guys can pick up on.
Yeah.
And it becomes beautiful. It becomes as if you've known each other since you were babies. I have a sister who currently lives in Cape Verde.
Oh, wow.
She has 3 girls. Okay? Those girls are living their life. They are developing like formative years. Zero interaction. Let me not say zero, because minimal interaction
Minimal,
with my
yeah.
children.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm thinking,
Now they have cousins somewhere in the world.
I'm thinking to
Yeah.
myself, how can I make it easier for them that when they are now young adults to pick up and build a relationship?
Yeah.
Leaving the crumbs, memories that they both have interactions with on the platform, I think is a good way that when the time comes and they choose to now build a family relationship, it's easy.
Yeah.
Because, oh, I saw you when you were in your dance class.
Yeah.
I already saw you when you were on a soccer team.
Yeah.
I've seen you. We've talked. Like, I've seen you doing it. I've seen you growing.
Yeah.
Okay? I have pictures of my children and videos when they took their first footsteps. I have videos of them doing their things, like just being them. This is something I want to share with my family. So that even though you live in Ghana, Cape Verde, wherever, Spain, Madrid, wherever, you know what is happening with this child. Mm-hmm. It's a memory about the child's upbringing. It's like all this. Now, I know most people, for some time now, especially parents, are concerned about posting their children online, which of course I respect that. I'm a parent too. It makes a lot of sense to me because you're concerned. Where does this go?
Yeah.
You know? And we've taken that into consideration. That is why, like I said, it's a space for your family.
Yeah.
We make it explicitly clear. What you post here is only visible to your family. Now, how do you get your family onto this platform? You connect with them. You invite them to join, to connect with you on the platform. That's what you do. So that the person coming on the platform to connect with you is somebody you are saying is your family member.
Yeah. Which is cool because as it expands, people will add someone that you're like, oh, I did not know this person was my cousin.
Exactly.
And right now people are scrambling. I had a friend who her father passed, and through that, people were reaching out like, hey, I think we have the same father.
It shouldn't be like that.
Like, can we connect to maybe see like
it shouldn't be like that.
You know. So I love that.
Yeah. And because you are the invited, that family member, you understand that when I share this video, this picture, I'm sharing it with them. And it's also going to be here for my niece, my nephew, my daughter, my son, my granddaughter. I think we needed this like a century ago.
A long time ago.
Like a century ago.
Yeah.
But you know, in life, not everything is doable at the time when we think about it. I'm just happy that in this era of my life, technology have caught up with us that we can do this. Mm-hmm. You know, one more thing I want to say about the app is we're about to make it public, but we really want to get a few people to sort of refine certain ideas with. Yeah. So if you're watching this podcast, this beautiful discussion with me and my sister-in-law, and you want to be part of those who join us, get early access, so we can tighten some screws and nuts here and there, visit VoicesWeKeep.com. VoicesWeKeep.com. And there's a short application, super short.
The accent.
Yeah, super short, okay? Fill it out, and then we give you early access, and then we iterate with you, see some of the things you...
Yeah.
Because when you're doing something, there's a saying in my language that when you're drawing a line in the sand, only the person behind you can tell you it's crooked. So that's why we want to encourage as much as possible people to join the founding users group.
Yeah.
And we're aiming for 100 people.
Love that.
At the time of this recording, we are left with 37 spots. If you want to help or get on board and have early access and help us fine tune it, go to VoicesWeKeep.com and let's get it going. Quick one. When the time comes that your family have connected and connected and connected, guess what else is possible? Audiobook.
Yeah.
You can literally be driving, hit play, and guess what you're listening to? The story of your family members.
Yeah.
You know, we were taking a drive from San Antonio, I told you, on Christmas Day. What if on that journey, we were listening to our great-great-grandpa just telling us about his life?
You just made me think about the last voice note my father has left me, a voicemail. When I was 18. I was just seeing him as an adult for the first time, and he passed shortly after. And as I was getting off, he passed while I was on that trip. And as I was getting off the airplane, I had a missed voicemail from him saying, hey, you're smart and I want you to be a lawyer and I want all these things. Don't worry about those boys. Just focus on your studies. And I've lost that voicemail. I have no idea. I can't even remember the date of his funeral, all those things that were like on paper. And just imagine if there was a place for me to save that voicemail in the moment and preserve it, to tell my children, like, this is what my father sounds like. Because now I can't even remember what he sounds like. So yeah, we needed this centuries ago.
So let me say this again. The reason I call the podcast Voices We Keep is that.
Yeah. And I have one from my sister. One of the very last voice notes that my sister, I'm trying so hard to preserve it right now because it was the last thing she said to me shortly before she passed. And I can still listen to it now, but you have to preserve it. I have to keep it.
Again, this is why we call this podcast Voices We Keep, stories worth preserving. I was talking to my sister on the phone and I made a comment. I'm like, oh man, I wish I could hear Dad's voice again. And she's like, I know. And I think a day later, she sent me a text, just like, see what I found. It was a voice note. So my dad passed when she was in Madrid. And it was a voice note at the time when my dad called her. I think she was in class at the time, so she missed my dad's call. And he had left a voice note for her.
Yeah.
She found that voice note and sent it to me.
Wow.
Imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine keeping that voice note for my great-grandson to at least hear how your great-grandfather sounded like.
Yeah.
I think this is...
And you don't know where he'll be even what you sound like.
Exactly.
He can be in the UK and be like, wait, my grandfather has an accent? Like,
exactly.
Where is he from?
Where is he from? Where is he from? Gosh, guys, let's build this platform together. There's one thing we are sort of fine-tuning now, right? Imagine this. Imagine that we had this, like we said, 60 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. And today I went to somewhere in Arizona, right? And because of the memories left in my family, my phone gives me a notification and says, hey, the great-grandfather was here on this date. He visited this restaurant. Do you want to see if it's still there and maybe grab a bite to reenact?
Can you imagine? I
Imagine that.
Just watching this Nigerian woman who, came from money. Her father passed away. She connected with the person who now lives in the home that they lived in America and brought her kids there. And she retook the picture that she took with her father on the same stairs. I mean,
the possibilities of connecting family across generations are endless. Again, this house, who knows who lives here 80 years from now?
Right.
But if I captured the moments we spent in this house, in front of the house and all that, my great-great-grandson, one day driving through Dallas can be like, hey, you know what? I have some time. Let me drive by my great-great-grandfather's house, see if it's still there.
Yeah. Yeah.
A way to connect with generations across time. The possibilities are endless. And in these little things, we get to know ourselves.
Yeah.
We get to know ourselves. There's a funny feeling I've always had. Let me just go crazy
What
right
if?
now. What if?
What if she's my sister?
I know. What if? There's this story about this great king called Mansa Musa. According to history, he was one of the richest men to ever live. And he was a king, one of these empires in Western Africa. Now, I'm from West Africa. What if this dude was my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather?
Right. You're
It's possible. I'm royalty. Right? But there's no way of confirming that.
Yeah.
But I know that my people originated from that empire.
Wow.
But so much time and history has lost. I mean, it's not like I want his gold, but if I was his great grandson, I would like to know. You know,
Yeah.
I would like to know. I would like to have it on a plaque, hey, great grandson of Mansa Musa. But there's no way of validating that. I think with what we are building, the lineage app, listen, some of the things we are planning to do with this platform, we know as the founders, we will not be here to even experience it.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
I think what you're doing is a God-given assignment, because I think, I mean, it
because I can sleep.
aligns with the scripture.
Yeah.
My people will perish for the lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And you are providing a space for people to have that knowledge through stories, through connection. And up until this point, as you're talking, I'm thinking like, I'm going to go find my sister on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen another older brother since our father's funeral. So like an opportunity to connect with those people. Yeah. But I really feel like up until this moment, this is something I did not think about. So I really want to encourage you to keep having these conversations, like keep talking about it, because there is healing in storytelling and there is so much knowledge in it. And you are about to bless millions and millions and millions and millions of families with the opportunity to connect.
Yeah. Amen.
And that is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's so great.
I don't know if you heard me tell this story. The real kicker, the thing that just gave me the go do this, was my son.
Yeah.
I've said it again. This is my story and I'll keep saying it.
It's your story. You have every right to tell it.
He came from school one time and was sad. So sad he was sobbing. Because his really cool friend was talking to him about the time she spent with her grandpa. And he doesn't have any grandpa stories to tell.
On either side.
On either side. And my son was sad because of that. Really sad. And it hit me. I'm like, man, because I myself experienced the same thing. How long can this keep going on?
Yeah.
Now, it's life. There is no guarantee any son will meet their grandparents. Life doesn't guarantee us that.
Yeah.
But if there's a way to keep the memories for those children, at least, right? Even if at the moment when he was going through that pain of disconnection or void, if I had shown him videos and pictures, this is what he looked like.
Yeah.
This is how he sounded like. Instantly, he has an imagery, okay, of who this person is expressing void over looks like.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? At least that is something he can hold on to. In videos and voices, that's something he can hold on to. And it's tangible. It's worth, it has value.
Yeah.
Now, let's take this to the next level. What if he left a voice note for him?
Yeah.
See, we call this on the platform time capsule.
Capsule. I love that.
We call it time capsule. We're still building it. It's a feature we're building where you can leave voice notes, documents to a specific person in the future.
I love that.
Listen, we have the technology now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can literally leave a voice note for my 4th generation granddaughter.
Yeah.
Check this out. To be delivered to her on her 18th birthday.
I love that.
Specifically, on her 18th birthday. She's in the morning, she wakes up feeling still good and ping, notification. What? A voice note from great-great-grandpa. How about that? How about that? You know, how about that? So, listen, if you don't know about me and my sister-in-law here, we can keep going and talking and talking. This is not our first time. We just daydream, okay? Please, before I tell our audience to join us again, any questions for me?
Just keep doing it.
All right.
Don't stop.
We'll keep doing it.
Don't give
We'll
up.
keep doing it. But you know you're coming back, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more I wanted us to talk about, but we just went off. Yeah. But you're coming back. So we can. One thing I'm thinking about is I want us to do the podcast with the kids sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, let's see the funny questions they're going to ask
Yeah.
us, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll do that. But thank you for spending time with us and engaging us, investing your time with us. We appreciate it. Join us again on Voices We Keep, Stories Worth Preserving, please. If you want to, I mean, the app will be released soon, but for the people that watch this podcast, I would really encourage you to join the founding users,
Yeah.
you know, so that you have early access and interact with us,
Yeah.
and we can make it better.
I can't wait until you're bringing people in who benefited from your podcast.
Yes. I
can
can
tell
wait.
you their stories and say,
Yeah.
like, because of your podcast, I met or I got
Beautiful.
to understand who I
That would
am.
be awesome. That would be
Gonna
awesome.
happen.
That would be awesome. Visit VoicesWeKeep.com. It's like 5 questions. You see, they are basic questions. And then we'll give you early access, okay? We'll give you early access, and then on the platform, we'll be talking, oh, did you try this feature? What do you think? How did that, so we can make it better,
Yeah.
all right? And it comes with other bonuses, okay? Which we'll talk about that behind the scene with you when you're on the funding users group, okay? God bless you all. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching us. We'll have another guest on the show in the coming weeks, so stay tuned, okay? And
Thank you.
thanks for watching.